next panel that's really all about stepping into the world of DevOps, the discipline that keeps modern engineering teams moving. At its core, DevOps is really all about tightening the feedback loop between development and operations so products can be built, tested, deployed, and of course improved with speed and reliability. It's truly the backbone of agility in today's complex, fast-moving environments. As you all know, this is something that's really, really imperative for all of the founders and all of the creators that are here today. So this session will be titled DevOps Evolution, Staying Agile in Complex Environments. And it brings together some experts who know what it takes to keep teams aligned with confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce our upcoming panelists. Please put your hands together in a massive round of applause for Shumo Mitra. He is the director. He is the director of Health R&D at Corvetta AgriScience. Joining him, ladies and gentlemen, we have Prince Adakha. He is the manager of software engineering at Rich Products. Along with them will be Miss Cynthia Saber. Put your hands together for the founder and head of marketing at CC in Dubai and Sunset Properties. Mr. Umesh Kumar, the associate director of IQVIA RDS India. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Last but certainly not least, please welcome on stage Ms. Vanashri Nayak. She is the founder and CEO of ASME Infinity Private Limited. Put your hands together in a massive round of applause. And with that, I hand off the mic to you, everybody. Please enjoy this truly insightful panel.
Good afternoon, everybody. Is the energy high? No. I can't hear the yes. Just 1, 2, 3. Yo, that's cool. Can I request audience to just come on the first or second line here so that we can just connect more and more? Please stand up and come earlier, please. As of we have a lunch, can I do one small exercise? With the permission of both the panelists, can we do a small exercise with me? Everybody? Yo, but it is not something which is very physical, which is mental. Everybody with me? Please. So I'm going to tell what need to be done. So 3 fingers of this, you need to keep it like this on both the eyes. Both the eyes. Wait. Let me complete it. And you need to close your eyes by this thumb. Okay? And what you need to do is just deep breathe and loudly say, and listen it in a side. Okay? Just 3 deep breath and listen your the hum will be inside your brain. We'll do that. And after that, just remove your hands. Please don't open your eyes. We'll say 2-3 lines instruction. Just follow that. And then we will start with our panel discussion. Will that work? Let's start. Please put on the hands. Just 3 deep breathe. And say, Close your eyes. 3 deep breaths and say 3 times. Don't open your eyes. As of you are in the conference, please imagine what is your personal goal is completed. You can see it now. Where you want to be, you are there. Just see it. Just imagine it. What is your professional goal? What is your career goal? You are there. Please imagine it. Closing your eyes, please imagine it. And just say loudly, yes, I have done it. Please be loud. Is it working for you? Have you imagined? Yo. Thank you. Thank you very much for the exercise. Let's start with the panel discussion. Sorry for eating 2 3 minutes for that.
It's okay. Thanks a lot for this wonderful starting, and this is getting a wake up call for the audience that they are going to enjoy this panel discussion.
This is a Brahmari, we call, and this can actually improve your imagination. This can actually improve your IQ too. I generally do it regularly in the morning. So let's start the panel discussion. Namaste, everyone, and a warm welcome to this international conference session. I'm Manishri, founder and CEO of Asm Infinity, and I have a joy of moderating this panel today. Our topic is very exciting and very relevant for every industry in this room: DevOps evaluation, staying agile in complex environment. So I would like to ask Umesh to introduce himself first.
Hello, everyone. I'm Umesh Kumar. I'm Associate Director at IQVIA, India, and I'm having 20 plus of years of experience in clinical research. And currently, I'm looking into data analysis and data science. And I'm looking for the clinical operations uh, and the software development team as well. So I'm working as a leader for different products which has been created by IQVIA for clinical research.
Thank you very much, Umesh. Sir.
Um, Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shoma Mitra. I lead the R&D for Corteva AgroSciences, which is a combination of merger of Dow and DuPont. And I have 25 years of service in academia and in industry. Before I was in the industry, I used to be a tenured full professor in the California State University system. And since then, I've worked for two major multinational companies. Currently, I'm based in Singapore, and I've run the R&D for the crop protection and biologicals. So it'll be good to share today how agile systems and AI has helped us being more agile in our R&D functions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So myself, Vanashri Naik, I am a founder and CEO of Asme Infinity, which provides a learning solution. What we generally does, and a unique point with us is, we have collected a subject matter expert network with us from various industries. We meet industries with those subject matter expert to understand the breaker in their growth, to understand their points, and we does a brainstorming at our end, and we provide the learning solution which really works with them. So first of all, problem identification, then the innovation, then come up with the solution, and it actually works for them. And technology is there as always. Whenever it is software technology, it is AI, whatever it is needed, we does it, but we provide the learning solutions. So my next question is for both. Agility has different meaning in different fields. So my first question will be, how has staying agile changed in your industry in the last few years? What new pressures or new habits you have emerged? In short, how do you stay fast without giving your team a mini heart attack?
Uh, Basically, this development and operations. So this is basically when we just merge the software development as and the operation. So that means it's a DevOps. Okay. So in that, basically, we have to be proactive to just do our things right way And for this, so you have to be actively participated with the team, and you have to do regular feedbacks, and you have to give the proper suggestions and proper direction to just to complete that. So that is my view, that that can be helpful for this.
That's great. Shumao sir?
So I'd like to talk a little bit about how agility in our industry works. So in our industry, it takes a long time to put a product in the market. So it takes us around 10 years and around $300 million to put one product in the market. It's very similar to pharmaceuticals and agrochemicals. So in our cases, our industry doesn't move as Scrum teams would move in software and others, right? So for us to become agile, what we need to do is try to look at ways that we can run things in parallel. What has changed in the last couple of years, as you asked the question, was bringing AI into the whole mix. And I'll give an example in having NVIDIA come in and start to use AIs in terms of how structural chemistry, how synthetic chemistry can be evolved. So things which would take us a year to come up with one structure, nowadays you can probably do it in a day, because you can simulate, run AIs in the background and come up with structures. So that has helped in reducing the time. The second thing what has happened is predictive. So in terms of when we do these studies, these studies for acute toxicity or oral dermal takes a long time to do, because you generally have to do it in mice or other systems. Now what has happened is you can do them on chips or cells that you can do, which would be for the liver or gallbladder and any other things. And you can use predictive, using the chemistry behind to predict what it'll be, which reduces 2 years of it. So you can see, being agile and using these, you can reduce your time by almost 3 years to put a product in the market. So these things have probably come on in the last few years. I would say probably the last year or so that things have started to ramp up a lot more, and especially with data behind their big data and being able to analyze the data has really changed how we used to traditionally.
That impressive.
Yeah, I completely agree with Sumo, and that because we need data to just build up anything. So for that, now AI is playing a big role to just lowering down the timelines. So with the help of AI, we can do a lot of things, and we can reduce our suppose if we want to launch a product, so with the help of AI, we can do the analysis faster, and that will be also useful. Means in the quality risk also, it will be easier to just moderate that with the help of this.
Right. So AI have given a speed to people, even both fields. Thank you very much, guys. My second question will be, DevOps started in software, but now it's becoming a mindset everywhere. So we are calling here mindset. What does DevOps thinking means for you? In software product, agriculture, research, marketing, or business, how does your team apply for it? This question, as of we have only 2 team members here to contribute. If anybody from audience want to also contribute, you can. Starting with Umesh sir.
Yeah. So for any operations, we need the help of some software. Without software, nothing is possible nowadays, because we as a human, we have to do a lot of work manually. So it will take a lot of time, lot of efforts. If we are associating with software or some other kinds of just like, suppose if you I will give you an example, that suppose if I want to build a chair, okay, and if I want to build it, so we have to see that from where I will get the raw material, who is going to build up and what. So but instead of that, if we have a pipeline, and that we have a software like that, so that is defining the operations, that how it is going to build up, from where we are going to do a raw material, who is going to deliver that raw material to our the place where that material is going to be assembled, or that is going to be manufactured. So if that is already defined in the operations, so it will be very easier for everyone to just track the things. So here the role of software comes along with the operations.
Okay. Shuma sir?
So this is a very interesting question because this whole concept of Scrum teams, agility, comes from software, right? And we all have adapted those in our industry.
Agreed,
Uh,
agreed.
because our industry definitely was not agile compared to software because it
True.
takes a long time. There's a lot of downtime and lots of innovation needs to happen, which takes time. But we have all evolved and started to use agility and the Scrum teams in different projects, right? And this is a learning experience from a software industry, right? They turn around and make in a 1.2, 2.2, 2.5, 2.3 rolls out very quickly. For us, we can't do it that fast, but in our timeline, if you look at 10 years compared to if we can do it in 7 years, it's agile because previously we couldn't. And a couple of things which we've learned is also the way software does is failing fast. A lot of times we use a lot of resources to come to a point and then the product doesn't make it, right? But in terms of software, they make it really quick and they say, this is not working, we'll move a different way, right? So that's also something that we've learned from the software industry.
Right. Anybody from audience want to contribute on this? Okay. My next question.
I think I have one more additional thing to add up, and I just wanted to know from the Shumo that now you are in the agricultural field. So now with the help of softwares and development, so earlier we used to grow the crops in a different manners. Now, what are the changes has been come up with this kind of change?
A really good question, Umesh. So cropping systems as such has not changed. What has changed the knowledge that we have to grow a certain crop. So previously we did not have IoT devices in the field, right? So
Right.
now the IoT devices will tell you, okay, it's going to have time to irrigate, time to some stress coming on. So you can put some stress mitigation product out, right? So those kind of information and the able that people can react to has changed. The other form which has changed for us is a modeling and using different mathematical models to predict based on these
Right.
IoT devices, right? So previously, for example, I'll give you an example. We all grow rice in Asia, and BPH or brown plant hopper is a pest which comes on rice and destroys the crop. Previously, we could not predict it because it comes in 5, 6 years. It comes on weather patterns. Now, with climate change, we have capability with either satellite images or IoT devices to predict when a grower will see the surge of this particular pest. So that's how it's changed. And smart agriculture is now using IoT devices on tractors, using different technology to be able to predict what we couldn't do in the past.
Okay, that's very really interesting that whatever things are coming up and a lot of R&Ds are going on the agricultural part as well. So these are very interesting topics.
Seriously interesting. It's a little different question again, Shumo sir. So you are doing R&D in farming and you are doing agile and everything, but uh, Indian farmer who don't have that much literated, how can that R&D help these people, actual farming?
So there are two concepts of that. First is when we are in the APAC market, we are servicing 300 million smallholder farmers, right? And the education level is not the same everywhere. We have got languages. What has helped now, for example, if we create a video, right, or an audio or a brochure in English, say in the US, now within seconds you can convert it into a different language with help
Oh.
of AI, right?
Yeah.
And also you can change the video in seconds and use translation for them, right? Now you've also got devices. Everyone's got either a smartphone or a phone where you can either push an SMS or some information to them, which was not there in the past, right? Now
Correctly.
farmers, even farmers have a cell phone of some sort. So you've been able to engage with them or give them advice via those channels, which was not there in the past.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, and so
I
we
was
can
not
also
aware about it.
implement in our clinical things that I'm getting the things knowledge from you. It's
Thank you very much. So can I get to next question? All of us deal with complexity, sometimes more than we expect. What is one big complexity you face, and what helps you to stay agile while handling it? Because let's be honest, complexity never stands an appointment later. It just arrives.
Yeah, so I'm from the clinical field. So we generally deal with the hospitals, laboratories, patients. So in that scenario, what happens when we are collecting the samples, blood samples for a test? So it takes a lot of time for just to do the analysis on that, and we have to just do lot of tests and a lot of things we have to just carry forward. So in that scenario, now a lot of things has got improved and lot of devices has been come up with a lot of softwares and all. So with the suppose if some people's what they are doing, some if suppose there are some different tests are there, so we are collecting with a different vendors and we are just checking that which one is a more appropriate, so that we can just cop up with them and we can just, if somebody is giving a little means if there is a huge difference or there is a standard deviation from that results, so we are collaborating with them and we are just checking that how that can be reduced, what improvisation they can do it on their part, so that the accuracy is that should be minimal, means there should be minimal error on that part. So that is we are still working on that, and in that we have a lot of things to do and a lot of research are going on that part. So
Shamao sir?
For us also very similar, because we are not that agile or not that adaptive to changes. Now it's the necessity, right, to adapt quickly, because everyone is now using a lot of predictive analytics, right? And predictive analytics is helping people shortcut a lot that we had to be done physically, right? And for example, Mish would also know a lot of days people are now going away from animal testing, right? It's in
right.
pharmaceuticals, it's in also our industry, right? People don't want to do rat studies anymore. So what has happened is now you've got these cells on these chips or microchips,
Correctly.
and that has helped because you can do that without growing a rat or going through the whole process, because now you can do it in vivo, in silico, in other ways that you couldn't do in the past.
Correctly. So
These have
those
really
are the
helped.
new revolutions coming up in the futures, and that we can adopt and we can. So as the modernization is coming up in our day-to-day life, so those things are very much helpful for everyone to just. So if um, you are ready for a change, then it's you will be growing.
Agreed, agreed. In my industry, DevOps and complexity agility is a little different because we are creative and passionate people. So when our creative designer, animator, learners, IDs working togetherly, and I want that project to be go smoothly, I think we generally try to keep clarity, and clarity helps us to keep the agility, and confusion is the biggest speed breaker. This is what the agility
Yeah.
means for us. So my next question will be, tools doesn't make teams agile, culture does. This is what my thinking. How do you build a culture of trust, ownership, speed, and honest communication? Any practices that really works for your teams?
Uh, First of all, the we should not be agile so much that there is we have to compromise with the quality. So that is the main
True.
thing. We have to improve. Suppose if we are doing agile, so it has to be more. Uh, it should be more towards the productivity plus quality. So we should not compromise with the quality. So suppose if we are doing it, if we are just creating 5 medicines in a day, suppose I want to create that 10 medicines but in a day, so there should not be compromise of the, we should get the similar kind of medicines only. So there should not be any quality issues or like that. So that is my point of view.
So as you mentioned, agility is actually change in mindset. And
Yeah,
we can observe it because people are used to traditional ways that they feel comfortable, right? But now with new things coming in, there's also, we've heard several sessions about hallucination of AIs, right? So
yeah,
there is a little bit of still getting it fine defined to be exactly predicting what we think. There's a little bit of deviation still. And as more and more data points come in. So I think the best thing, what I feel and what happens in our industry is making sure that you, whatever you are doing, you communicate it transparently. Things might fail, right, in terms of prediction.
correct.
Being able to, and I'll give you an example. In our industry, we use a stage gate process, which is very similar to pharmaceuticals, right? Once it's discovered, stage 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So sometimes what happens is some chemistries move through certain stages based on their predictive, but then you run tests and say that the prediction was off from what it needs to be, right? For example, the biggest block thing which will be is if it does have any teratogenic effect, right?
Right.
It blocks it. But from predictive, you'd say, yes, it doesn't do this in mice. It should not do that in human beings. Predictive looks good, but when you run a test, then you suddenly see there is some cancerous growth. So you have to
Mm,
kill that project. But
correct.
then you have to go and transparently say, yes, we did use predictive. It didn't work for this time, but it helped us cut across how many tests we needed to do and the time frame. So that culture comes, as you said, with more about being transparent, being able to share, because everyone can see the benefits of technology are both good and sometimes it doesn't work, right? So in both terms, you have to communicate it very clearly.
And sometimes what we predict, suppose we are predicting one analysis, but we get the different results. But that is also sometimes that will be a different direction, but that is also beneficial, and we get the positive results on a different directions. So that kind of things also coming up in the pharmaceutical. So
Is it happen in this way that if a doctor want to understand the similar case, just because of the AI and all the things which is available, he can find the similar case to study immediately?
not exactly because suppose if there is one particular molecule is there, it comes with at least minimum 5 years it takes to just come up with some kind of results. Okay, it's not just like that within a year you will say that this molecule is curing one disease. So it takes lot of time and lot of efforts with the scientists. It's not like that we now the bioinformatics is there. So with that we are predicting most of the genes, that how that is reacting to the genes and where it is. So it takes lot of time. But with the help of software, with the help of other things, we have lot of models. So with that we can predict the thing what results can be. So that helps a lot for all the scientists and all the doctors that who are in the research field. So
So that's how the next question is connected. That
And
sorry,
Vanashri,
you
I
want to
wanted
say?
to, since you wanted to involve the audience and you asked question to Mesh, my daughter actually is here. She's a doctor. She's a practicing
Cool.
doctor in the UK. And we talk about those. So maybe she can chime in how they are looking at patients and what information is helping them in terms of.
Do you want to contribute?
Hi. Yeah, I think my dad already introduced me. Um, but yeah, I'm one of the junior doctors working in the NHS in the UK. And currently, AI has benefited us in a lot of ways, but also not, in the sense that patients might use things from AI, like they might be using that as a in replacement for seeing an actual doctor. And that can honestly be quite difficult for us to kind of manage. There might be patients who are getting advice from ChatGPT of how to manage their symptoms or how to do some things, and they might be completely inaccurate or incorrect. So it could be quite kind of the opposite of the beneficial side of it, of AI in that sense. But in terms of the benefits for the healthcare professionals itself, we get a lot of help to do a lot of the admin side of it. So such as writing patient notes, we can put in quick details and get that written out, or letters after clinics to get given out to patients, or discharge summaries. Those are much easier done through AI, and they're looking at doing things like death certificates or any kind of health sick notes and stuff getting through AI. That would really benefit us as well. That would give us more time to do clinical work and less time on admin side of it. 'Cause that can end up being a big part of the job as well. But yeah.
Nice to know that. So my next question is a similar thing for you, Umesh. We are entering a future shaped by AI, automation, climate changes, the way he has mentioned, consumer behavior shifts, and digital transformation, right?
Yeah.
So what trends you think will shape agility and DevOps in next 3 to 5 years?
Uh, the automation is playing a very big role in any of the operations, any of the software development, and any other things. Okay, so if we are going for an automation, suppose like there is an laboratory, okay, and just I have collected a blood sample, and now I want to do a different 20 tests. Okay, so I don't have to feed that blood sample into 20 different machines, because it is automatically, there is a automated system, so it will just take a sample that much. Suppose there is 2 ml is required, so only 2 ml it will take, it will pass to the next machine. So similarly, whatever things we are feeding into the machine, so it will take it from there, so it reduces effort as well as uh, manual things. So with that we can do a lot of things, and with the part of automations, the everything is getting the all the time frames are reducing, all the qualities are also better, and we are getting the better results from all the things. And now regarding a transparency, now many people, they are all well aware of the thing, what I mean, which kind of test they are going for. They will, now all the peoples are educated, not like the earlier days that we are just going to a doctor and whatever doctor is saying we are following that. But nowadays there are a lot of people, suppose if we are saying that your sugar level is high, they are going back to home, they are reading it, and they are coming back with lot of questions that you have you told me that this blood sugar is high, so why it is high and what kind of thing. So they are coming up with a lot of questions. So now as a consultant, suppose if a doctor is a consultant, so they have to face more challenges, because now the people, we have chat gpt, we have other co-pilot is there, so from there we can get a lot of knowledge. So suppose if I'm not from a medical field or some other field, so they will just go write a prompt, they will get a lot of information. So those kind of things, it is coming up. So we cannot hide anything from the patients. So definitely we have to come up with a real figure, real things, and we cannot just go blindly. And we can, like earlier days, a few hospitals, they were just doing some mishap, like they were charging a lot, that there is a patient that can be cured in 3 days, but they are taking it to hospitals for 10 days so that they can charge it. But nowadays the peoples are aware, so now the hospitals and other parts, they cannot do the things, because there is a now they have to be transparent that this we are keeping a patient 10 days for a particular reason. They have to be monitored, they have to be like this. So the transparency comes here.
Yeah, that's absolutely, as Umesh mentioned, nowadays everyone can get information in the fingertips, right? Nowadays we
Right.
use a lot of AI and information is there. And that's why I think going back, Manishri, to one of your questions about how can you make this as a culture is transparency, right? If you don't know, then you say, I can use this, or you can use this tool to get the data, because now data is available. And it's so being transparent is probably the way we could change the culture, ways of working, everything is changing, right? So it's a cultural mind shift.
So last question, what is your one practical tip to stay agile even in chaos? Please be in one
uh,
sentence.
I'll say stay calm and don't be just a hurry worry. You just be calm. You will be getting the solution automatically. It will because you means as a leader you will be having a lot of experience, and with the experience, if you are calm, you will get the answer.
For me is data, because data is what knowledge is and what science is driven, right?
Right.
Previously, we have access to so much of data, and being able to crunch that in seconds, which we did not have in the past. So these are things which will really help us be calm, because you have the backing of that information behind.
Yeah, truly said. As I said that we are the leaders, right? So we know the from our past experience we know these things. So already we have come up with a lot of things, and we know because when we started our career we did a lot of mistakes. So with that mistakes we have learned. So with that. So if we are just becoming calm and cool, so it will be, it definitely data comes with means you can analyze the data and you can, so but if you are calm you can just come out with the solution. So that is.
Many teams today feel overwhelmed in many industries. I mean, I have listened this kind of a problem from everyone who is working. So many teams today feel overwhelmed. Too many tools, too many tasks, too many channels. Why do teams feel overloaded today? And what's one practical way to reduce this overload?
There should be work-life balance. Okay. Suppose if there is a work-life balance, automatically the productivity of that person or the employee, everyone will that will increase.
So for us is everything which comes to you, you got to take it with a grain of salt and think about it, right? Because also AI has its pains, because a lot of deep fakes come out, right? And a lot of things go through WhatsApp and others which you can't believe because it's not true. So sometimes it's always whatever comes to you, take a step back, think whether it makes sense, whether it's logical, it's a thought process, and that's when you can probably decide, yes, this is the way to move forward.
I completely agree with you.
In my company, overload comes with when people work separately on islands. So animator is working on their world and the writer is working in their world. So the moment teams start collaborative closely, pictures, content, development, reviews, the load reduces magically. So I feel collaboration is the word which can remove that overload.
I think we could take one or two questions from the audience as well. So anyone from the audience?
Hi, myself Manish Dalawat. Shomo, I have a question for you. The way you're doing research and the way you have achieved great, I believe you have a dedicated development team with you to experiment and explore and move ahead with your journey with to fulfill all your objectives. So am I right or wrong?
No, absolutely. We have 5,000 scientists working in R&D, so we definitely have a process and systems. So.
Now my question specific is with respect to IT. Because the moment we talk about AI, we talk about then software development is a very critical aspect, and that's equally important. And even in those lines, we need to have a dedicated team, and they need to be in a listening mode, because every day there is a new learning, and whatever you say, they have to follow, they have to adapt, and they have to proceed. So it requires in-house team to drive. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. We have an in-house team because most of it is IP is a big thing for us, right? So we don't do a lot of thing outsources unless we know there's no IP risks. So there'll be an in-house team. Like, so we have engineers who design and look at AI, and then they will probably ask a Scrum team from someone else to do some part of it. But they're the people who will integrate the whole thing for the last piece because of IP reasons.
In contribution to this, I'm very happy what you've said. So I'm very happy that even similar one project I have done with respect to IoT, with respect to Pan India, there are malls and there are assets. So we get the health checkup of those assets through sensors at the command and control location, and then we did the integration, which even you expressed. So the next point is basically when we develop a software, and then it's only a specific output we are looking for, and that's why the input is also limited. But when we talk about AI, then the touch points are increasing because we need to know the intent and behavior. So this touch points can be any, there cannot be any limit to this. So how you manage the touch point aspect with respect to inputs, because if that data is available, then only you'll get the AI output. So how you manage that?
No, you're absolutely right. So there's a structural way of collecting those, but also sometimes we miss it because there's so much of AI being used because we don't know which one was used to predict it, because a lot of assumptions are based on assumptions, right? So we take a set of assumptions that this will happen, and then you'll use AI to predict that, right? So sometimes we do miss it, but generally our touch and way you can say checks and balances is we take an output from one side and make sure we predict it and see, is it giving us the same results on the other side? So that's a check and balance. But of course, we do miss. A lot is also new. I can tell you that this has probably come in the last 2 years that we are trying to use so much of AI. So this is going to change. I'm sure it's going to change and evolve and probably get much better as we move forward.
So again, one point here is like, I believe to make AI successful in this manner, anyone who is visionary in your organization and the top heads, they need to participate on regular basis to monitor what's happening. And if that's missing, then the project will fail. That's my understanding.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And things are changing in a day. Previously, it would take us months to change. Now it's a day and hours that things change. So you're absolutely right. The touch points have to be continuously evaluated. And we have a set of assumptions that you have to reevaluate all the time.
So who is involved in your core team who are monitoring this AI-based solution? Like,
so we have an in-house team of softwares engineers who are data scientists and AI experts. So they do predictive a lot, and then they actually work with other engineering firms, others who work on certain parts of the project, but they aggregate the whole thing.
so I'm not worried on the engineer's point of view. They'll do their job. I'm more concerned from the visionary or the domain expertise or what we expect from business or the
Right,
output.
right.
Who is participating from that side?
So currently what happens is R&D works very closely with commercial, as Vanashri's agenda was collaboratively, right? So you have to continuously share with the other functional leaders, like say marketing or government affairs or regulatory affairs, right? So on a regular basis, you change course of path because something doesn't work. So cross-functional agility is very
I
important.
hope that that's very important, which is not required so much in software development
No.
application level. When it
Absolutely.
comes to AI and this type of
Absolutely.
visionary statements,
Absolutely.
the entire approach drastically changed.
Absolutely.
So
Agree
it
with
was
you.
fantastic
Agree
knowing
with you.
and getting these
Absolutely.
inputs. I
Thank
really
you so
enjoyed
much.
it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, audience, for doing the exercise and listening to us patiently. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.